welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing the most highly requested worth the buy or not the past few weeks, and that happens to be the YSL All Hours foundation, which I have right here. I'm so excited to speak about it because you guys have been literally like asking me all the time, and I was so excited to do it, but like now that I have it, I'm like, yes, let's get to this. Let's dissect this product. I just get my hair done today, and right now on the camera it's looking like my hair matches my cheeks, so don't come for my cheeks and don't come for my hair. I actually went for a rose gold color, which I think it looks really cool. I feel like it's gonna, like, I'm still getting used to it because I had purple hair and now I have rose gold, and I'm sure later I'm gonna have some other funky colors. So right now we're just gonna go with the flow. So let's just go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna be using the Vital Green Space Mist by First Aid Beauty. I still have this little guy right here, but I am gonna get the larger size when this runs out. And I'm just gonna spray that all over my skin. For my primer, I'm actually going to be using the Smashbox primer and some of the LA Girl Pro Smoothing Face Primer, which I actually really like the Smoothing Face Primer by LA Girl. It's affordable, but I also like the fact that it does a good job of like smoothing out in those areas where I tend to get really like nasty. I really quickly want to say the foundation scheme, the color scheme is some shit. Like, they have all these shades of more fair to light skinned people. Like, they have every shade you can think of. I'm sure everybody who has more of that fair complexion will be able to find one. But then once it gets to like people that are like tan and people that are dark skin, it literally is so small. And I had to get the shade Amber. It's pretty much like the shade, the last shade of like the tan selection, and then starts the dark shades. And the dark shades only have like, what, maybe 3 or 4 colors. So I ended up getting B60 Amber. And of course, you know, YSL has like the best packaging ever. This was like $58, so plus tax and probably being like $60. So that is quite pricey. I mean, it is YSL, so you know, you're paying for the name. So on this side, I'm gonna go in with a beauty blender. On this side, I'm gonna go in with the brush. My skin, as you can see, like I mentioned 1,000 times every video, not looking too great today. So just look past that. Let's go ahead and pump it out. I like that there's a pump. I feel like that's so necessary because pumps make everything less messy. Now, this is a runny product, as you can see. It's more of that lightweight consistency. So let's just go in. So it feels very lightweight automatically. It doesn't feel like I'm wearing a cake face. It actually covered really well my redness, as you can see right there. No redness whatsoever, so that is a plus. It looks really, really nice. So now we're gonna go up on the forehead. I am really praying that this foundation is like everything and more, because everybody has been really, really loving this foundation. So I wanna love it too, you know what I mean? I do feel like it's a little tiny bit lighter than my skin. I don't know. I feel like it might oxidize, which is what I'm hoping for. There's a huge difference right there, and you can see that it definitely covered right away with one layer. The Beauty Blender did a very good job of not absorbing too much of the product, but also giving it that gorgeous look. So I would say it's Beauty Blender approved. But we will see how it works with our brush, because it may work a little bit better. So now we're gonna pump it out. And we're gonna just dot it. I either put it straight onto the brush or the Beauty Blender and then apply it, or I dot it. So it just happened so that I did it straight onto the Beauty Blender on this side and then my Real Techniques brush on this side. I love this brush. If you guys follow me on Snapchat, you guys will see that I saw this brush at Target the other day when I went. And you can find it at Target if you want to try it out. I think it was like $6.99, which is a really, really good deal. If you guys want to follow me on Snap, because I'm constantly posting makeup related content on there, you can definitely follow me. It is Mexican Beauty with 3 Ys. It will be linked down below in the description box. I always have my social medias linked down below, and I would really appreciate if you guys check them out. My Instagram, my Twitter. I just feel like it's leaving lines. I think it's because maybe the consistency of the product and my brush aren't cooperating together. So I would say, for me at least, I preferred it better with the Beauty Blender. So, no go for the brush. Usually I like things better with a brush. These past few videos, I haven't been a brush fan of it. Okay. I'm only going to go in with 1 layer because you guys can see this completely covered my skin. I don't need another layer. Unless you're really like covering something that like you don't want to be seen, then I would say you don't need another layer. And even my redness, which is really bright, was covered immediately with this foundation. So that's a good sign. I feel like this foundation is a nice coverage foundation. With 1 little pump of it, you're good to go. I noticed that was really good. So now I'm going to go ahead and kind of bring this up close to see how it looks with everything. It looks good. It's not clinging onto my texture or any of like areas on my face. No dry patches. I think it looks good. I think it looks good. It doesn't look like you know how sometimes it looks like you're wearing foundation when you have something that's more matte? This doesn't make you look like you're wearing like a cake face. This looks very good on the skin. It still looks like more of like a satin matte finish. It's not like a full matte. So I really appreciate that about this foundation, because those really like dry matte foundations sometimes can suck, especially now that we're moving into fall and winter, and it's going to get really cold out if you live in areas where it's cold. But if you live in sunny areas, and you don't have to worry about that. But if you live in areas where it's really cold, those really like dry matte foundations can just like completely like rip apart your face and just make it look nasty. So I'm glad that this foundation has that more lightweight consistency, as to where yes, it does give you a nice matte finish, but it's not completely matte, but it also isn't going to dry your skin because it's so thick. So that's a good thing. But yeah, it's not clinging onto any of my texture. It looks really good. So I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my makeup, and then I'm going to come back, let you guys know how it works with my products. Also take a picture with flash, because this does have 20 sunscreen, which is always great to have sunscreen in your foundation, because you want to protect yourself, especially your face, from any sunspots, any sun damage. We do not want that. And we all know the sun can cause a lot of aging. So we're going to go ahead and finish up this masterpiece, and then I'll be back and I'll look like a new woman. So BRB. I am back, and I just finished my entire face. I did something a little bit dramatic. So as you can see, right away, the foundation, I feel like it matches my skin tone a little bit closer. As for the product, it does have a nice matte finish I'm seeing. I feel like it did get a little bit more matte than when I first applied it on. I hope that it stays this way. So those are my thoughts. What I do want to go ahead and do is I want to go ahead and take a flash picture so that I can show you guys how this foundation looks with flash. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my phone, which is right here. These flash pictures for me are just so hard sometimes, because my phone is just, I don't know, like the way I position my phone, it's just so hard to like get the right picture. So let's try this. Let's see. I feel like the flash doesn't really do much damage to my skin. I feel like it looks pretty good. I feel like it looks better in picture. Like my skin looks better in picture than it does like staring at it front face. Maybe it's because my texture, but there's nothing I can do about my texture. It's not the foundation's fault. But I just do feel like the foundation doesn't make the texture look less noticeable. I feel like it doesn't really do much with my texture issue. But the picture looks really pretty. I actually like how the picture came out. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to go ahead on and carry on with the rest of the day. Now, I'm not going to wear this for an entire 24 hours because, I mean, let's face it, nobody really does wear foundation for 24 hours. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is wear it for as long as I can, and then I will come back at the very end. And then I will come back at the very end of the day and give you guys my final thoughts and whether this ultra expensive foundation is worth the buy or not. It is now 11 p.m. at night. It's been a very long day and I've worn this foundation to its full capacity. Actually, not really, because it says 24 hours, but I wore this foundation to my full capacity because I'm ready to knock the fuck out. So let's just go ahead and talk about this foundation. So as you guys know, I am trying out the YSL All Hours foundation, and I really feel like it kept intact very well. The foundation is still very much on my skin, which is great. I like the fact that it literally stayed in place. My skin doesn't really look oily. It looks fairly good. And considering that I was outside and it was hot out and everything, my skin wasn't getting like that oily, nasty feeling. There is a little bit of oil around my nose, which is natural. Like, I feel like I'm never going to not be like completely like oil free for the entire day. But if I can get this good amount of wear being oil free, that's great. But I honestly do like this soft, like nice finish, matte finish, because I feel like when it is too matte, it just looks really nasty. I feel like what really sold me though was when I saw that picture, I was like, oh my god, my skin looks like I like filtered it or like face tuned it or like something. It just looked very nice and smooth. I feel like it's a great luxury foundation to have. I actually have the other YSL foundation that came out quite a few years ago. It is also matte finish. I don't know if I still have it. Maybe not, because it probably expired by now. Yeah, I've had it for a few years. But that foundation, I feel like it was like Ink Fusion or something. I don't know if you guys remember. That foundation was like one of my ride or die foundations for the longest time. I loved it. Yes, it was pricey, but it was, I think it was like a little bit more than this one. I think it was like $64. But I really love that foundation. It can be nice and matte. And I think what really is selling me on this, and what I personally feel like a lot of my subscribers appreciate in a foundation, is when it's more of that skin-like finish, but it still can keep their oils intact. And I do believe that this foundation can do it. I feel like this could also work so beautifully for everyday use and for like a night out. Like if you're going to a wedding or just anywhere, I feel like this will look beautiful. And then if you're going to work, you still want to have like that matte finish, but you want it to look polished. I think this will look great because it's not so heavy and it's going to last you for a long day at work. So those are my thoughts. I know I kind of repeated myself a lot, but I really wanted to touch everything because you guys know that I really like to like give you the most in-depth review so that you guys can really make some good decisions and decide whether you feel like it's needed or not needed in your collection. So if you guys have tried the YSL foundation, then please let me know your thoughts. I would love to know and talk to you guys about what you think of this foundation, whether you'll be buying it or not. So please, let's go ahead and start a conversation down below. You guys always come through with those conversations. I love talking to you guys, whether it's suggestions, whether it's your opinions, just anything. You guys always come through in the comment section, and I love how you guys help each other out sometimes with like prices and like discounts and stuff like that. I think that's so awesome. So I'm really happy and grateful that you guys can come here to just have like a nice time. That being said, I'll be seeing you guys very soon for a brand new video. Bye guys.